Google still hasn't gotten its act together. Samsung Messages shuts down on July 6, 2026. And what is Samsung telling people to do? Switch to Google Messages. That sounds simple until you realize the app they are pushing still has RCS problems, disappearing message complaints, inconsistent feature rollouts, missing customization, server side beta confusion, and years long delays on basic features people have been asking for. Let me say this plainly. Google has one main job: texting. And somehow Google keeps making texting feel complicated. Samsung Messages is being discontinued in July 2026. All Google Messages users are affected. Samsung's own support page tells users to upgrade to Google Messages as their default messaging app to maintain a consistent messaging experience on Android. Users on Android 11 or lower are not affected, but newer Galaxy users are being pushed directly into Google Messages. Newer Samsung devices are already part of that transition. Samsung stopped preloading Samsung Messages on newer flagship phones, and the Galaxy S26 and newer devices cannot download Samsung Messages from the Galaxy Store. This is not just an update. This is a forced transition for a lot of Samsung users. You had an app, Samsung Messages. You liked that app. You had your conversations, your habits, your layout, your customization, your workflow. And now you are being told, use Google Messages. Just get used to it. Here's the part that really bothers me. If Samsung is going to push millions of people towards Google Messages, then Google Messages should be polished. It should be stable. It should be predictable. It should not feel like a half-finished experiment. What are people complaining about? RCS is not working. RCS is getting stuck on setting up. Their carrier does not support RCS. Some features are appearing for one person and not another in Google Messages beta testing. Some features are appearing for one person and not another in Google Messages beta testing. Chat themes are rolling out to some beta users, but not everybody. Messages are disappearing, missing, or conversation history looks empty after switching apps. Basic customization features are taking years to arrive. That is not how a default messaging app should feel and operate. This is not just some side project. This is an app that is produced by the multi-billion-dollar corporation Google. This is the app people are being told to trust with their daily communication. It should be flawless. People are angry about RCS for a lot of reasons. Number one, the most obvious reason. RCS is supposed to be the way of the future in messaging, but it is plagued with problems. Number two, RCS depends on too many moving parts. You need Google Messages, you need the right device, because not all devices act the same with RCS. You need to use a carrier that supports RCS. You need the message recipient to have RCS working too. You need data or Wi-Fi. RCS uses data for message transmission. Without a stable internet connection, RCS messages will fail to be sent and received. If any part of this chain fails, the whole RCS experience falls apart. Number 3, people get stuck in setup loops. They open Google Messages and RCS just says setting up. They restart the phone, they clear cache, they clear data, they toggle RCS on and off, they uninstall updates, they reinstall the app. Is this supposed to be the default texting app experience? Number 4, some people see carrier not supported. Then Google says contact your carrier. The carrier says check back with Google. The user gets bounced back and forth while the app still does not work. Number 5, RCS creates confusion because people do not know whether their message is going as RCS, SMS, MMS, encrypted, unencrypted, sent, failed, pending, stuck, or silently falling back. The Google Messages app lacks the ability to clearly show the user how their messages are sent or received and if the message is sent or received successfully. Number 6, some users report disappearing messages, missing conversations, incomplete chat history, or messages that seem to vanish after switching from another messaging app or at completely random times. People are tired of Google acting like RCS is the future while the present experience is still messy. That is why people are angry. They're not angry because they hate RCS technology. They are angry because they were promised a better texting experience, and what they got was troubleshooting. Google should really get their act together because soon Samsung Messages will be discontinued. This is not a good look for Google. We can't place all of the blame squarely on Google. Are the carriers involved? Yes. Are device makers involved? Yes. Does RCS require carrier network support? Yes. You could put most of the blame on Google because Google is the company pushing Google Messages as the Android messaging standard default app. Google is the company that campaigned for and gate-kept RCS. Third-party developers of Android apps do not have access to Google RCS jibe servers. That is what is meant by gate-kept. Google is the company whose app is becoming the default destination after Samsung Messages shuts down. Google is the company telling users this is the modern messaging experience. Google does not get to point their fingers at carriers forever. If you're going to take the crown, Google, you take the responsibility for your botched RCS rollout too. Samsung users are being pushed into Google Messages. Google should not take this blame and responsibility partially. Not only when features look good in a press release, all of it. The setup, the bugs, the botched rollouts, the missing features, the confusing RCS statuses, the disappearing messages complaints, the whole thing. Google wanted to be the center of Android messaging. Fine. Then Google gets the blame when Android messaging is still a mess. Now let's talk about one of the most unacceptable complaints: disappearing messages. There have been user reports of Google Messages conversations or message history disappearing. TechRadar covered complaints where users said messages vanished, including reports connected to Samsung Galaxy devices and the transition from Samsung Messages to Google Messages. See the link in the description. Google support threads also show users reporting missing RCS messages or conversation history. And even when the explanation is syncing or re-indexing, that does not make the user feel any better. Because from the user's perspective, their messages are gone. When you open your texting app and your conversation history looks empty, broken, or incomplete, that destroys trust. Text messages are not decorations. They are receipts. They are addresses. They are business conversations. They are family conversations. They are pictures. They are medical reminders. They are proof of what someone said. When people are being forced from Samsung Messages into Google Messages, Google cannot afford to have people wondering whether their conversations are safe. That should never happen in a default messaging app. Now let's talk about Google's feature rollouts. People want individual conversation background images. They want to customize their chat threads. They want their messaging app to feel personal. Google Messages is just now rolling out custom chat themes and wallpapers to individual conversations. And even then, it is not that simple. Reports say features are rolling out through server-side updates inconsistently in waves. Some features are showing up only for some beta users and not for others. So one person gets the feature and the other person does not. One phone has it, the other phone does not. That creates confusion. That creates frustration and anger. It makes users feel like they are part of a giant experiment instead of using a finished product. When Google rolls out things in waves, the user experience becomes inconsistent. Not everybody gets the same app at the same time. Not everybody gets the same features. Not everybody gets the same options. Google does not always clearly explain what changed, what disappeared, what moved, or when a particular feature is coming to everyone. And it's not just the slow rollouts. Google also changes things, removes things, redesigns things, and users are left trying to figure out what happened. For example, Android Central reported that Google Messages edit history was removed in a 2025 UI redesign and later appeared to be coming back. That is exactly the kind of thing that drives users crazy. You get used to a feature, you rely on it, then one day the app changes. Maybe it's gone, maybe it moved, maybe it is hidden, maybe it comes back months later. Maybe only beta users get it first. And the average person is left thinking, why did my messaging app change again? This is what happens when a giant company treats a default communication app like a rolling experiment. My app, SendSweep, does not operate like that. SendSweep is not trying to be Google Messages. SendSweep is not trying to be RCS. SendSweep is not built around some slow server-side feature rollout where one person gets the update and the other person waits. SendSweep is built to give Android users more control. SendSweep has unlimited SMS, MMS, email, bulk sending, message scheduling, templates, campaigns, pipelines, analytics, power dialer, custom themes, and extended UI customization, all inside one Android app. SendSweep already has features that Google takes years to roll out, like custom individual chat themes and backgrounds. Google is just now rolling out custom chat wallpapers and individual chat themes and backgrounds only to certain people on beta. SendSweep already has deep customization built into the product. Google is still trying to make Google Messages feel personal. I can't recall how many times I have seen angry Redditors complaining about the goofy Google Messages header taking up a ton of space on the main messaging screen and how the dark theme hurts people's eyes in the Google Messages app. SendSweep was built for user control and customization from the beginning. So here's the real choice. If you are happy being pushed away from Samsung Messages into Google Messages, that is your decision. Use it, try it, maybe it works for you. But do not pretend everybody is crazy for being angry at Google Messages. People are angry because they are losing an app they loved, Samsung Messages. People are angry because RCS is still unreliable. People are angry because app features arrive in waves. People are angry because Google takes years to add things users already wanted. People are angry because their default texting app requires troubleshooting, support threads, Reddit posts, and workarounds just to function correctly. And most of all, people are angry because they are being told this is progress. Progress should feel better than this. A messaging app should be stable. It should be predictable. It should respect the user. It should not make you wonder if your messages have disappeared. It should not make you wait years for customization. It should not roll out basic features like a lottery ticket. That is why I built SendSweep. I do not believe Android users should be trapped between Samsung shutting down its app and Google still trying to get its act together. Your phone is yours. Your messages are yours. Your communication should not feel like it belongs to a giant company testing features on you in waves. Try SendSweep Lite for free. And if you want the full tool set, SendSweep Pro is $9.99 per month. Go to sendsweep.com, download the APK, and set it as your default SMS app. Then take back control of your messaging. If Google wanted to control Android messaging, they should have gotten their act together first.